Hi guys, I hope everyone is doing well. This is Priyanka, faculty for Commerce and Management. Uh, Guys, today we are going to discuss about the supply chain management. For it is the subject for BBA final year students. Okay, so SCM stands for Supply Chain Management. So as it's a completely theoretical based subject. In this, dear students, we will have 20 marks is for internals and remaining 80 marks is for a theoretical part. Okay, so total 100 marks. Now let's be discuss in supply chain management unit 1, introduction of supply chain management. So here, if you see what is the meaning of SCM. Okay, you people already know that SCM stands for what, ma? SCM stands for supply chain management. Meaning, supply chain management is the systematic coordination and integration of activities involved in the flow of materials, information, and finances from suppliers to manufacturers and distributors, retailers, and finally to customers. The main aim of SCM is to deliver the right product in the right quantity, right product. What is the main motto of the SCM? The main motto of SCM supply chain management is that right product in the right quantity at the right place at the right time, at the right time and at minimum cost, at the minimum cost. Main aim is that supply chain management. Why we will follow? To our who is the end users for us? For us, end users is the customers, right? So customers, before getting profits, first, as a business, if you see in the business point of view, that we have to win the customer's loyalty. Yes or no? We have to win the customer's loyalty towards the product. How we can win the customer's loyalty? Right quantity. Quality of a product is very, very important. Quantity of a product is very important. And price of the product also is very important. So, to give from best from our side is that minimum cost. Everyone, well, see from budget point of view, right? Even though we and even though the customers also. So our main motto, okay, supply chain management main motto, or else you can call it as a main aim also. What is our main aim? Main aim is the right product in the right quantity at the right place and at the right time and at minimum cost. These are the supply chain management. Here, if you see in supply chain management is the systematic coordination. It is a systematic coordination. Supply chain is a systematic coordination. How it is systematic coordination from suppliers? As you people know, product, the end product, or else the final good what we will get, but before that, the product will takes in various stages, like from raw materials converting into raw materials into final goods. It should face n number of prospectus, right? For example, suppliers is very important. From where we will get, manufacturers, where he will get this all raw materials? From the suppliers. Is that clear? From the suppliers to manufacturers, and from the manufacturers to the distributors, whether it is a agencies, whether it is a wholesalers. Is that clear? And after agencies or wholesalers, it's going to be come towards the retailers, and after retailers it's going to be customer, right? From suppliers to the customer, whatever the process in between happens, this all we call it as a supply chain management. Is that clear? This all we call it as a supply chain management. Dear students, please try to say after me. This, supply chain management is the systematic coordination and integration of activities involved in the flow of materials, information, and finances from suppliers to manufacturers, distributors, retailers, and finally to customers. The main aim of SCM is to deliver the right product in the right quantity and the right place of and the right time and at minimum cost. Now let's we see briefly what are the components of supply chain management. What are the components of supply chain management? The first one, okay, suppliers. Just now I said right, suppliers, and after suppliers, manufacturers, okay, and after that, distributors, okay, retailers, the last is end users, that is nothing but customer. Here suppliers, what is the meaning of suppliers? Here suppliers means raw materials, right? So here what we are doing here, raw materials, like provide raw materials, provide raw materials, provide the raw materials. Suppliers, what suppliers primary duty is that provide raw materials. And manufacturers convert, I'm writing RM, raw materials to final goods. Is that clear? So who is the manufacturers? What his job? Convert raw materials into finished goods. Manufacturers well comes here, and distributors. Distributors means what here, dear children? They will store the products and they will move. Okay, store and move products. Store and move. And retailers, what these retailers will do? Sell products to the customer. Sell products to customer, and customers, final users of the product. Customers is final users of the product. Final users of the product. Okay, so components of supply chain management. Components of supply chain management, if you talk about, suppliers is going to be come in first place. Suppliers means what? They will provide raw materials. Suppliers, again in this unit 2 we are going to discuss about the suppliers in depth. Like suppliers, again we will have single sourcing, multiple sourcing, global sourcing, local sourcing, strategic sourcing. These types of suppliers will be there. That's we are going to discuss in upcoming classes. As of now, suppliers means what? Suppliers means provide raw materials. Suppliers means who will provide the raw materials. And manufacturers means what here? Convert raw materials into the finished goods. Convert raw material into the finished goods. For example, steel manufacturers in steel manufacturing company, they will buy steel in tons in bulk quantity. Again, they are going to make it as a final or finished goods. Like, we will use the steel bowls, steel vessels. Isn't clear? So that is the raw material. In tons, they will purchase this steel in tons. Okay, in sheets it will come, raw material. That is comes steel in sheets it will get come. That is a raw material. And from raw material to finished goods, like what we are using now as a vessels, as a bowls in our home. Yeah, that is the finished goods. This I given that example for this manufacturers, from raw materials to the finished goods. And after that, distributors means what? Store and store and move means generally we used to store our goods in the warehouses, right? In warehouses, again it's going to be hand over to agencies. Okay, and after agencies, wholesalers, they will store particular goods for some time, and after that they are going to transfer to the retailers. So in between, what this store and move process is there na, that we call it as a distributors. What we call it as a distributors, dear. Now coming into the fourth point is that retailers. What is this retailers job? What is the retailers will do? Sell the products to the customers. And the last but not least is that customer, final users of the product. Means we, the product, final users of the product is the customer, or else you can call it as a end users also. These are the components. What it are? These are the components of supply chain management. This is very very important. You will get in long answer also. So the basic thing in introduction part, what is supply chain management, what is the meaning of supply chain management, and what are the components that is going to come in supply chain management. The first one is that, what is the first one? Supplier. Is that clear? What is the second one? Manufacturer. And the third one is the distributor. Fourth one is retailers. And the last but not least, customer or to end users. These are the components. And what is the supply chain management? Supply chain management is a systematic coordination. Yes, it is a systematic coordination only, right? So it is interlinked to each other. Suppliers to manufacturers, manufacturers to wholesalers or distributors, and after that retailers and customers. Okay, coordination and integration of activities involved. What it is involved? In the flow of materials, information and finances from suppliers to manufacturers, distributors, retailers, and finally to customers. The main aim SCM is to deliver the right product, right quantity, at the right place, at the right time, and at minimum cost. This is very important.